everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're looking at the Coastal Defender. This is our second vehicle coming to us from the 1987 line. Um, this was also sold in the United States between 1987 until 1989, where it was then discontinued. Um, this vehicle is one of our towed vehicles, and I kind of mentioned in one of our other uh, sets here that we're going to start getting into a little bit more towed vehicles again. Um, Previously, we have not had very many towed vehicles, but this is kind of a start of a little trend that goes on. So, looking here at GIJoe.com, we have all boxed up a front view and then a rear view. It's a nice boxed vehicle when it's all being towed, looks kind of like a standard whatever. But then when it opens up and we have a top down view, you get to see a nice seat with a control panel for trying to control the radar as well as firing our missiles. So, um, having some nice views of how this all looks. I do remember having a copy of this when I was a young tyke, um, and it was fun. It's one of those little play sets that, there's not a lot there, but in all reality, it does add for hours of play and that, and it's a simple design and a simple take on things. So being able to see it in that as an adult, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But as a kid, being a simple vehicle, it didn't bother me in the least, and it was an interesting thing. Being able to close it up and move it around to wherever. Let's see, we do have a commercial picture of it, and it's not something that we typically saw in a cartoon. Maybe in the comic book, but we don't have anything listed here on GIJoe.com, so I will say probably not so much. We have easily broken and or lost pieces. The missiles and the ramp were easily lost. The front panel tabs did have a tendency to break, so do take care if you do have that. And something I've been noting a lot lately is the cost of these from back in the 1980s. This is only $2.39. So, um, it's still a significant uh, purchase or whatever for the time. But and looking at it in today's day and age, it doesn't seem like it as much as it. All right, so bringing it into our GI Joe / Star Wars universe here. Um, Trying to come up with a really useful reason to have this outside of just being able to put it up as as a quick monitoring station or whatever. Um, we'll kind of go through this here. So I did keep this at a speeder scale. I gave it roughly about a 10-foot long, 3-meter length. It's only a crew of one. There's no passengers. Cargo capacity, I gave it about a 55-pound capacity. I don't know if it really deserves a capacity, seeing it's just a towed vehicle. Whatever you can throw in there, you're good to go with. Um, I don't know if I should keep this in here or not. It's what kind of cover are you going to get? Um, kind of carrying this format over from somewhere else. And I think that's where I kind of goofed up here. I had it at full. I think we're going to call it a 1/2. Um, Although, if you've heard me say this before, if you're in a vehicle or on a vehicle, I will always consider the vehicle the primary target and always save a character. I always err on the side of the characters because I want this to be fun. I don't want this to be a meat grinder to really just chew up characters and we're throwing them away. Altitude is going to be ground based. Maneuverability, I have none because it's not really moving on its own, and it is moved as a towed vehicle. So I gave it a simplistic body strength of 2 at speeder scale, so it's somewhat resilient, but not the most. Just keeping it at our average. It's more of a monitoring station, and it has 4 anti-air missiles. Okay, of course they're going to be front firing. They are at starfighter scale at 7D, and with its fire control with the radar and everything else, I give it a 3D fire control. Now, the special ability I wanted to give it, because why else are we going to have this here? We could always put some other vehicle there. Um, I really wanted to give a little extra. So having this unit linked with other Joe units gives a +2 targeting for missiles. I figured that would probably be a very nice um, extra attribute for this machine, given a better purpose to really have it out there. Um, that means that if we have any uh, aircraft or helicopters, or like the Wolverine or whatever else, this would be a very handy bonus to any of those vehicles or craft to be able to defend an area. So that's the reason. Now, I didn't give it a range limit, um, not knowing exactly how long of a range I should really add to it if I did give it a range limit. So I just threw that in there, figuring that that would be a nice bonus to really incite people to want to have something in their um, unit's arsenal. To say, hey, we have this and it's facing really off in this direction or whatever. Um, maybe you'd have four of these, so you can kind of go around an installation or something like that and really just kind of bonus out there. Um, but yeah, that's. I think it's a small, simple vehicle. Um, Keeping it kind of simple, but giving it a nice bonus to help out is always a nice thing. Even if it's just, we'll just for practical purposes, just throw a green shirt in there. Someone that's kind of disposable or whatever, it still gives a nice bonus. It does have four missiles, but even after the missiles are used up, it still has a duty purpose in a battle. So, with that in mind, hope you enjoy this series. It's still a lot of fun trying to bring this out to everyone every day. We're going to keep going on this. We have many years to go. Hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.